So since the February 26 local government elections, there's been a lot of focus on who won the election. Everywhere I went, people were saying, Dion, who win? Some of us at this very table disagreed. But what's really important, is not who won more municipal corporations, but really how close the election was. So what's the message being sent by the electorate to the political parties? What does it mean for the government, for the opposition? And importantly, what does it mean for us, the citizens? This is All Angles. I'm Dion Jackson. Joining me in studio to talk through those issues, we have attorneys and political commentators, Dr. Paul Ashley and Clyde Williams. Also with us, Christoph Simpson. He's first secretary for the political party Lands Left Alliance for Democracy and Socialism, and also with us, co-chair of the Advocates Network, Robert Stevens. Gentlemen, great to have you all. And just to remind you, you can participate in the program on X. Our hashtag is TVJ All Angles, and our WhatsApp number is 876-381-0072. Give us your first name, give us your general location. And Christoph, I'm going to start with you. So when you look at the closeness of the election, does it, and just to say to our viewers, the Electoral Commission said the final count was JLP 7, control of 7 of the local authorities, PNP 1, control of 6, including Portmore Municipality, KSAC tied. But then when you look at the popular vote, let me see, the last counts that I saw were, I assume get the exact numbers for you, thought I had them here, but again, very close in terms of the overall popular vote, although the PNP got the greater number of votes across the entire island. For you, does that send a message to government, first of all? Definitely,
especially because we're going closer now to the end of the current government's term. The elections can be seen as a sign of what is to come in the general election, and the fact that the PNP has won the popular vote nationally in this, as much as that doesn't matter for the actual local government results, the fact that they won the popular vote nationally has to send a sign to the government that it's not guaranteed that they'll win. And this is coming from when the PNP lost to the JLP in a landslide in 2020. So coming from that to where they are now, overcoming all the challenges of the party disunity, the PNP has made a comeback. It's in a much better place now to take on the JLP, where some persons may have felt that the JLP was in a comfortable position that they didn't have anything to worry about. But it was already showing that they were worrying, because the PNP said that this would be a referendum on the government, and the JLP never wanted it to be seen that way. And they've been begging people not to give up hope and things like that. It's showing that they're worried about outcome of the general.
And the difference between the two in terms of total votes was in the region of about 20,000.
That's correct.
Nationally.
Right,
yeah.
Across national. The Advocates Network says this is a turning point.
Definitely.
Overly dramatic?
Well, let me tell you, I think that what has happened is that a message has been sent to both the JLP and the PNP. 70% of the people stayed away from voting, and they were eligible to vote. So that's a very important number. The second thing is that the polls indicated that really and truly people are more interested in issues now. But what happened is that the issues weren't really discussed. It was really just about a whole heap of running around, and a lot of people were also given gifts to vote, etc. And really and truly it never made that much of a difference. So I think people want to hear about the issues and what are the programs that are going to be put in place.
Sorry, you mentioned a number of issues, a lot of which I want to get through too, but back to the turning point. Why do you say it's a turning point though? What was different?
Well, number one, this neither party has come forward to gain and say that they're definitely the winners. In my opinion, both of them lost. Okay?
No one. Both of them have come forward to say each of them won.
But whether they come forward or not, the reality is that when you look at the numbers, it's so close that it really says, look, there are a lot of people who are fed up. Fed up with the promises, fed up with things not going right. What we really want now is good governance. We want people to be able to say, look, we have people with integrity who are in charge of our country, who are going to lead us down a path where we have sustainable development. We want to get away from this situation where you just have people doing as they please. I mean, there are several things that are very, very wrong with the situation right now, and I think that the public has sent a message to both parties.
You agree, Paul Ashley?
I don't agree that we have reached a turning point. I see where the local government elections were treated as a mini central government election.
Yes.
No local issues were discussed at all. The odds were for the general situation. Everything you had ministers going out. The JLP had ministers going out talking about the national programs. It's a significant message being sent to the JLP. One, it did not energize the space. The PNP did. Two, it's at 18 months. If something is not done radically and the same team faces the electorate 18 months' time, they'll get the same result. They'll lose to the PNP. So what has happened is that all these ribbon cutting, promises, programs, groundbreaking, nothing significant can be done in the next 18 months. We are now embarking on an election campaign. Nothing significant. What we're going to be treated.
What do you mean nothing significant can be done? Because I expect, as you just alluded to, that we are going to say whole heap of ribbon are cut and
No, but ribbon cutting is not part of it. No, ribbon cutting is not it. The issues were roads, hospitals, garbage collection. You know what it is to build a bridge and the procurement process? You can't fix the roads that need fixing. You can't even attempt to build a decent road with the procurement process in less than a year.
Right.
What is happening? What is happening?
I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back. Let me just bring in Clyde and ask you where you stand on what we've been hearing so far.
Legitimacy of the politics and legitimacy of government. So that's what's under siege now. If you have a situation of 70% disconnected, alienated, not concerned, that speaks volumes to the level and the extent of our democracy. Our democracy is being threatened. So government can hardly lead, because if you look at it, the government might only have about 2 out of 10 electors that's supporting it, the government itself and so on. So for me, the big question is the slip in political legitimacy and the slip in the legitimacy of the government because of the huge number of persons who have stayed away and continue to stay away from the polls. So that's my real big issue. And once the government falls into a state where it is not considered legitimate in terms of just how people are responding and accepting it, it means that the society is sliding. For many people, they see the society as being on a kind of free fall rather than somebody in charge and people following.
Legitimacy and democracy under threat. Christoph, what do you think?
Well, the perspective of our movement is that we don't even really have democracy right now. These elections don't have anything to do with people power. And this matters in talking about local government. A lot of people don't know what local government is. Local government elections have historically had lower turnout than the general. Even the last one in 2012, the turnout was less than 30.1%. So this being
2016, last
2016,
one.
Yeah, sorry. It's 2016, the last local government election. It was less than 30.1%. It was 30.06. And this one is 29.6. That's
29.6, yeah.
So it's about 0.5% difference. What is local government? A lot of people don't know what mayors and councillors actually do, what they're responsible for, and that's why a lot of people treat it as a mini general election. They don't know the role of local government. We tie this back to constitutional reform. They don't know the roles of different parts of the state. People are not engaged in politics so much. They don't understand what the different things the government should be doing are and how they're supposed to actually engage. The people are not connected to the organs of power, and the organs of power are not accountable to the people.
I'm just about at the break, but I want to explore a little bit that point when you say you don't even think we have democracies. No, the impact of local government, but we're at the break, so let's go to the break. We'll soon come.